a job up to $100,000. So if we can learn the metrics of how to get approved for it or use someone else's money for it, then it'll be an easier route to be able to get access to capital to be able to get into something like that.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying that right now somebody who has a job is in the best position to get access to $100,000, right? And so that they should leverage their job while they have it right now in order to get access to those funds.
If they have a job, or if not, either way,
okay.
You can leverage the credit game or the business credit game to fast track that process as well. If you can use that to your leverage 100%, use it. But I just know that I know a lot of people can't save their way to $50K, $75K, $100,000 to be able to leverage it to get into something like buying land, buying real estate, whatever the case may be. So if you can learn this game to use it to your advantage, you will be in a better position.
Yeah. Mel, talk to me a little bit about, right, like, I love your unique approach, right, specifically for times like this.
That's a fact.
Where, you focus on self-storage units.
Yeah.
No disrespect, I'm not making fun of it, but a lot of people gonna lose their jobs. A lot of people gonna have to foreclose. A lot of people gonna have to downsize, and so a lot of people gonna have to take advantage of those self-storage units. Talk a little bit about that strategy.
That's why I'm so excited to even be here and talk about it, because this is the time where if you in the real estate business, you want to jump into self-storage, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people losing their jobs. So what that means, when you lose your job, you can't afford your rent. So now you may have to downsize from that bigger house that you once lived in, or you may need to get with a roommate. We need to come together as a group and figure out how can we maximize our resources. So when we downsize, where do we put our belongings, right? We put them in a storage unit. Yeah. And as these things start to happen, now you start to increase the rent. So in my storage units, I'm increasing the rents 10, 15, 20% every 30 days because the demand is there. Yeah. So I want to teach y'all how to get into the self-storage.
He got that money flow.
He
got the money glow while he's telling you.
It's for real. And it's life-changing information. But I want to give some exact steps, if that's cool. I want to give some exact steps on how you watching this right now can get into the self-storage game, leveraging 0% interest business credit cards, leveraging SBA loans, right? So one of the ways that we can get into it is the SBA 7A loan. With the SBA 7A loan, they finance you up to 90%. The reason why they finance you up to 90% because self-storage has the lowest loan default ratio. So if you think about any other industry, self-storage has the lowest loan default ratio, so they're still lending during this time. You go to any other bank right now, you're trying to buy multifamily, single families, it's tougher to get financing because the banks, we see what's happening. It's a collapse and people are pulling their money out. But if you go to SBA 7A route, you put 10% down and then you can go get that 10% down from a 0% interest business credit card, right? Let's talk about Key Bank, for example. If you have an LLC that's 2 years old, you could actually go get up to $50,000 in a business line of credit, right? And when they pull your credit, they also can give you a business credit card and a personal credit card, one inquiry. So you get $100,000, just one bank. That $100,000 is a down payment on your self-storage for $1 million.
Wow.
So now you in the game and you on the other side of it, right? We want to build wealth during this recession, during this economic downturn. And I want to take it one step further. I'm going to pass it, right? I'm so hyped up. I'm so hyped because
let him go.
the reason why I love self-storage, not only is it a recession-proof business, during an economic downturn, everybody's going to need self-storage, but with one acquisition, I could create multiple streams of income. So when I buy one facility, I put a vending machine on the facility as well. So now we got passive income. Then I partner with U-Haul, and now we have a transportation business, and we're getting commissions from U-Haul. And then I partner with a moving company because tenants, when they rent out a unit, they need to move in and out. We partner with a moving company, now we getting multiple streams. So that's just a few things that we do to maximize the revenue, go pay off the credit cards, the value of the facility went up, I'm going to cash out, refi, and go do it again.
Whoa. Listen, hold on. So if you look, because I know sometimes y'all doing multiple things while y'all watching this. I need y'all to slow down. Please rewind this, bad boys behind this. Like, I need you to really understand what he just said, right? Yo, if you do an SBA loan, the SBA is funding up to 90%, which means that you would only need a 10% in order to get a self-storage unit, right? So now you go to SBA, they'll fund you 90%. You go and he gave Key Bank as an example. You get $100,000 loan from Key Bank. Yo, $50,000 credit card, $50,000 loan. There's ways, and he'll teach you how to liquidate those credit cards. You can liquidate the loan. You get the loan. You can liquidate the credit card. Now that $100,000 ain't even $100,000 that you saved. It's $100,000 that you got, right? Because you had an LLC that's at least 2 years old, and then now that $100,000, you got $1 million property that's going to increase in value, but it's also going to cash flow because cash is king.
Facts.
Cash is king, right? You have this asset, and like in New York, we say dead ass, right? You get this dead asset, right? That's doing nothing, right? And, eventually you could pull from that asset, but if it's cash flowing, that is the pop. Oh man, I don't want them to miss that.
Crazy on them.
I don't want them to miss that. And then boom, so here's the deal, right? So now when we think about real estate, around these times, like you said, right? Interest rates are high, banks are pulling back a little bit, but people still need a place to live, right? And so regardless of, it may cost a little more to acquire a property, but at the same time, when you acquire that property, because people now are downsizing or whatever the case may be, they're going to need a place to live. So talk a little bit about that.
So I want to touch on, both my brothers right here, but me and him always going back and forth. Now I got to cook them real quick. There's a couple different things I want to touch on, right? You guys, you talked about land. Yeah. So what a lot of people don't understand is in real estate, we believe in flipping up. So we take one asset, we do what we need to do, we take the money out of that, and we get into a bigger one. So for example, you talk about land, a lot of people don't know what to do with land because in order to buy land, what they think, you need to be some type of developer. I need to know how to dig and build big buildings. Well, that's not really the case. What we go ahead and do is we leverage land and we flip up with the land. So, for example, I got a bunch of lots. Let me give you one, for example. I bought this lot for $15,000. I bought it for $12,000 actually. But the lot was actually worth $90,000. But what happens is a lot of homeowners, what you guys do, you guys want to go to this website called PropStream, right? So PropStream, you can literally click the button vacant land, type in the zip code, and you can find vacant land. But then the thing you want to do is look at the zoning button. It's going to say what kind of zoning is for. So in Philadelphia, you something called RM1, which is residential multifamily. So when you have multifamily lots, they're worth more than regular lots. So now if I go ahead and call him, I'm like, yo, listen, I see you got a lot right here. You want to get rid of it. Yeah, that piece of grass, just give me $5,000 for it. Don't even dig, it's worth $100. Don't even dig, it's worth $150 because you can build a 10-unit apartment building on there. So now you utilize 0% interest credit card, $10,000. How easy to get $10,000?
Super easy.
So you can go to this one website, FMBO, and they'll go ahead and get you a credit card. They pull from Experian. You can get $10,000, $15,000 off rip right off of them without having to open up a bank account, without needing any of that stuff. Also, you go to Chase, which I know you go deeper in that. You can get $10,000, no bank account needed, right online, or you can go to this website called Alliance Credit Union. You get $10,000, $15,000 right there. So now, but I always tell people, getting to $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in funding is great. Do that, but don't forget about these small little plays. You take that, buy the land, then we can go and resell the land to a developer for $90,000. So now we just flipped the $10,000 credit card and made $80,000 off of it. Now we can take the $80,000 and go right into the single family deals. Or, which I like to do, is leverage other people's money on a whole nother type of time. We'll utilize something called hard money lenders. Hard money lenders, they'll go ahead and give you 80 to 90% of the purchase price, and you got to come with the 10%. Now is the time to go into a lot of these smaller deals where homeowners are sitting on houses, don't need a whole bunch of work. So, for example, one of my mentees, somebody was selling his house for $80,000. He got it down to $58,000 because the house was sitting on the market for 60, 90 days. So what I always tell people to do right now while interest rates are higher. So when interest rates high, people don't really, it's harder to sell a house because not a lot of people aren't buying. Houses on the market longer. What happens? Price drops. So now what I tell everybody to do is just start shooting your offers low ball. And what happens, you'll at least get some of it. Let's think about this. You shoot 10 offers a day all low ball, you'll at least get one.
Right.
At least get one.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ash Cash, the financial motivator. If you're
a lot of my mentees right now, but the thing about it is, if you're getting a house for $58,000, right, what is 10% of that?
5,800. 5,800.
Exactly. Yeah. But we just said a 10%, a $10,000, $15,000 credit card, you can get tonight.
Like that, right?
You don't got it. LLC can be made today.
Right.
Don't need to own no time on it. All this stuff can happen today. But now you go ahead and buy that property. You might only, for example, for him, he just need to go ahead and do new floors, new paint, and change all the baseboard heaters. And now it's worth $130 when it's done. take that money, then flip up, get right into the self-storage. Right. So you take the small plays you can make right now, the little 10, 15,000, flip it up, and just keep working your way up. Then you go right into the self-storage. So it's all stepping stones, but that don't mean you need to wait until you get to step 10. You can start, I'm making 20 each step, then 40, and then just keep double.